I'm Asher.
I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be reviewing who we think is going to win Super Bowl 58. All right, so to get things off, we're going to say who we thought was going to win the NFL, or like the Super Bowl, who we thought was going to make it to there and who we thought was going to win. Yeah, I'll go first because, I started off this video. Anyways, who I thought was going to make it to the Super Bowl was the Ravens and the 49ers. Probably because most people probably had the same reasoning because of the logo. It ended up one of those teams ended up making it to the Super Bowl. Ravens, unfortunately, did not. I thought personally that the Ravens were going to win again, and yeah, it would have been nice to see them win again. Chris, your predictions?
I thought it was going to be Miami against Kansas City, and Miami was going to win. I had a pretty good leading up season until the playoffs.
Yeah.
But then they got shut down.
By who, Kansas City. And then, those were our predictions. And of course,
my bad. I had gone for the 49ers and the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins winning. Because Kansas City and Miami Dolphins are in the same conference.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah. And so both of us ended up guessing that the 49ers were going to be in the Super Bowl. And would you look at that? They are. Hold on, before we get to the next thing. We have not posted since literally Christmas. And so we have not posted since 2024. And that is pretty cool. And pretty bad at the same time. So we're going to try to get back into schedule. And yeah. Also, Henry. He's been on this channel pretty frequently. Me and him are going to be starting a channel. In fact, I will place the channel down in the description of this video. So go check us out. Yeah. We just started a few days ago. You're seeing this on the 6th. We made this on the 1st. And so yeah, next we're going to discuss who we think is going to win the Super Bowl, because we already know who's in there. I personally think it's going to be the Chiefs because I'm a Chiefs fan, but I would not be mad if the 49ers won. Why I think the Chiefs are going to win is because they got Taylor Swift. And yeah, they're probably going to win because the NFL wants that to happen. So, that's who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. Chris, who do you think is going to win?
The 49ers.
Why?
49ers, they had their chance in 2020, and they lost then.
Yeah, and it was the same exact game, too. Chiefs versus 49ers. And the Chiefs ended up winning.
They had their chance, and now they have another chance to beat them.
Yeah.
Bringing in a third-string quarterback, a lot of pressure on him, This is his, first, I would say, starting career. He comes out of Iowa State. Last draft of his picks, too, and he's not that really... he's not good, but he's not bad, other players like Nick Bosa, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle. I feel like they're just going to have to carry out, but then the Chiefs have a lot of good players like Isaac Pacheco, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to hear if the Chiefs win is something about Taylor. So.
Oh, yeah, well, if the Chiefs end up winning, I think MVP is still going to go to Brock just because of how great he had this season. And then...
Everything he's going to say, he was thinking he was going to do bad, and then turned out to be amazing.
Yeah, and the 49ers had a lot of hype this year. They had a lot of fans, and some of them from Iowa are because of Brock Purdy and Kittle. Like, they're the big talk here in Iowa.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they have a lot of hype. And, honestly, that hype can get them pretty far. And I think it's going to be a close match just because of how good those players are and how they can, like, do in the offense game. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting. The game is going to definitely be a good one. And
I don't think Kansas City's O-line's going to hold up against Nick Bosa.
No.
I think it's going to rip through them.
Yeah. Well, what we do know for sure is that the halftime show could be a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's going to be played by Usher.
I think the only one I liked was the one with Snoop Dogg, Eminem,
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Yes, that was such a good one.
I think that's the only one I've ever liked since I've been watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what's gonna happen next week, it's gonna be a good game, and no matter what, it's gonna be pretty. No matter who wins, there are gonna be some people who are gonna be mad because if the Kansas City Chiefs win, there's gonna be a lot of people mad, and if the 49ers win, there's gonna be like Chiefs fans mad, and so it's just that's usually how it is in all Super Bowls, and so it's gonna be a little interesting.
Yeah, there's a plane flying over us.
All right, now we've talked about the Super Bowl, and that's gonna be the big thing of today's video. But so far, there's still basketball, and it's already surprising how we've pretty much been here on YouTube for a whole year, and that's a pretty big milestone. And so we're getting ready for this next NBA final, and so we're gonna do this now because we can't edit the videos while they're already posted. We're gonna do this now. We are going to say who we think's gonna be in the finals of the NBA, and what our predictions are gonna be. And we're also going to try to guess the score. We're gonna try to guess what the score is.
Yeah, in basketball, it's not like other sports where, well, except for baseball. In basketball, you have home advantage for 2 of the games. You have home advantage, and then you have the other team's home advantage, and it's a back and forth. So it's going to be really hard to determine. I think it's going to be the Boston and Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm actually going up a game here to watch the Minnesota Timberwolves go up against the Suns in April before the finals. But yeah, the in-season tournament, that was pretty good. The Pacers, they're doing pretty good this year. They almost beat the Lakers for the in-season tournament, but they're pretty close.
Yeah. I have the same thing that Chris said. I think it's going to be Minnesota versus Celtics. And honestly, who I think's going to win, I think it's going to come down into the last game. I think it's going to be pretty well evened because they're both doing fantastic this year. And I honestly don't know who's going to win, but if I wanted anything to win, I want it to be Minnesota, just because I'm partially a Minnesota fan. But yeah, I would not be surprised if Celtics won. And so I think that the final score of the final game, because there's going to have to be a final game, I think the final score is going to be at least over 100 points, both teams.
I think it's the best 1-4. So whoever pulls through. You know, I thought Miami was going to pull through last year. I watched, I think, 5 games. It took me like a whole week of basketball. But I thought Miami was going to pull through, but then Denver Nuggets end up winning. But yeah.
We were rooting for Miami, and for some reason, the Nuggets had I guess the better number of players. Most of their players had been there for a long time, and I think it was just them growing, and eventually it won them something. I think
it's just them getting Jokic. Yeah, you know, he's a huge defender, 6'9", probably 289 pounds. I mean, he's like a beast, you know, like people are saying, Shaquille O'Neal basically patched down the torch to Jokic because he's basically the next Shaq. You know, blind through defenders, stealing balls left and right. You know, 6'9", he's extremely tall. I mean, he's not as tall as Shaquille O'Neal, but still, he's pretty tall, big defender, plays good.
Yeah. So, we've talked about who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. We will post a video after the Super Bowl, reviewing the scores and everything. But yeah, shout out to the Michigan fans, because I can't believe they have fans, and apparently it won them something. Honestly, I didn't expect Michigan to pull it off. Michigan winning the college football championship. Again, I did not see that happening, and I'm honestly surprised that they beat Washington, because Washington had such a great year, and they were undefeated, such as Michigan. But it was really weird, because I was rooting for Washington the whole time, and so yeah, I did not expect that happening. And so yeah, Chris, what was your take on that?
I'm not gonna talk about it.
He's a Washington fan, so he's a little disappointed that Washington lost. But yeah, those were our talkings on who we thought was gonna win the Super Bowl, who we thought was gonna win the NBA championship, and congratulating, Michigan. Yeah, pretty much that's all we have to talk about today. There is not much to talk about. One thing we could talk about, though, is the Champions League. Now, I know Chris isn't too much into soccer.
I don't follow up on it.
I am a big fan. And
I mean, I like watching soccer. If it's on, I'll watch it. I'd rather be watching a good soccer game than a good baseball game or bad football game. I'd rather be watching a good soccer game.
Yeah. Who I think is going to do well in the Champions League is... I mean, I've been a PSG fan for a while now. Ever since I really got into soccer, I've been a fan of PSG. But I think they're going to do really, really well in this Champions League, and I'm hoping they can pull off the win. But this year is going to be a little different because of the Euros, Euro 2024. And honestly, who I think is going to win that, I think France and Portugal are going to do really, really well.
Yeah.
I mean, Portugal's going to have Ronaldo, and they're probably going to take it to a win.
I watch international. I don't know much players, but I know how a couple international teams are.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's...
But, U.S. kind of sucks when it comes to soccer, but when it comes to like women's soccer, it's a bit better because they go to National Cup
Yeah, they go to the World Cup.
for Spain.
Yeah. Although there ain't like that much good players in the Women's World Cup, which is why like USA usually ends up winning. Although last year, women's Spain ended up taking home the World Cup win, which good for Spain. Anyways, yeah, who I think is going to win the Euros? I think it's gonna be Portugal, like always. And then who I think is going to win the Champions League? I'm hoping PSG does it, but most PSG players are going to be with their national team because of the Euros. And for some reason, some of the only players who, like, there's probably like only one team that isn't going to be going to the Euros. Most of their players aren't going to the Euros. Forget it. Like, I don't like them, but it's Man City. And Man City don't have a lot of players. Like, sure, I think De Bruyne's going to be gone to play with Belgium, but pretty much they're going to have most of their players, which could get them the Champions League win. But yeah, that's who I think is going to win. Yeah, we are hoping that we can get the next video, part 2, out. And after the Super Bowl, like probably a weekend, 2 weekends after the Super Bowl is when we can try to get the reviews of the scores and stuff. But yeah, those are our thoughts of who we think's gonna win and not. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
See ya.